I just want to start off saying that I think a lot about what happened last night had a lot to do with the information that this order is getting out to everyone right now, especially the fact that we're really kind of pulling the sheet back from this New Age movement that has really been invented, circumvented, and directed by the Illuminati, by the reptilian agenda. And they're using it to co-opt another function of human spirituality and drive it right back into the same place that they're marching the three big religions of slavery. The neo-pagan movement really is sort of a way to entrap women, knowing that women are very, very injured by and disgusted with the ultimate father god of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, seeing how that is completely unnatural and absolutely devoid of any real feminine energy or feminine compassion. So you turn to a goddess religion, which is just as co-opted and in essence worthless as a spiritual evolutionary tool. Remember that religion is the imitation of your god or goddess upon the earth. And it is by doing the works of these gods and goddesses that you are exemplifying them and extolling what their higher purpose is, and you are merging your higher self with that energetic current. So when you're talking about a whole co-opted movement, then it's just going to lead you right to the shithole that you tried to get out of anyways. There's a real emptiness there. And for as much people that I got email from screaming to me about how much, how could you say this about Wicca, and asking them certain questions about, how is there fulfillment, and then sort of like really changing the question into like, what's your life like? What are your goals like? And then the ones that were really honest really just sort of said, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Well, how come? How come? And it's not easy. We all have to admit that we've been duped. They have been so successful. They have had thousands and thousands and thousands of years to perpetuate this gigantic psyop that is the reality we live in now. The Illuminati is just the students of interdimensional beings, most of which have very reptilian-esque physical bodies, that have done this to planets eons and eons ago. They've had time to work on it. It works. Humans are no different. So don't feel bad. Last night, some stuff came up, and I actually had to go, let's just say I was called in. And, I really get the feeling that because we are saying, hey, there's a deeper devotion here. Hey, the real workings of Kabbalistic magic is to attain and manifest your great work. It is to write your name in the in the stars above. That's meaning that you've completed the great work, and to attain to your highest genius. That is to say that that your higher self is you, and you know the highest aspirations. You've set yourself free. You don't necessarily worry about famous people or what's on TV. You've put yourself to the work. You are the salt of the earth, and you are making the world a much better place and easier for other people to complete their great work. And the adventure in that is more powerful and more wonderful than any TV show, than any movie. It's the ultimate adventure, and the adventure where everything that you go through sustains, refines, and strengthens and beautifies everything that you are. That is the path of true adepthood. That is the path of true arcane Kabbalistic magic. And believe me, the Illuminati ass fucks that have merged their Luciferian Colopian currents and have turned Aleister Crowley into a pop icon, and just spread their darkness all around, and sickness, not darkness but sickness. They're making sure that very few people have any real idea. So last night, where I've got another member who is truly in real peril, and I can tell when I walk in that it's so cold that I could almost feel it freezing my skin. I could see my breath as like a thick, mucusy cloud in front of me, and I know something's seriously going on. But I'm just like, wow, how could it be so bad around you? I've had bad things happen to me, and I've had things come at me, but never to this situation. Never. So, being that I am a priest king of Wicca, being that I am a relatively accomplished magician, I can't run from these situations. I have taken too many vows, and I have really brought myself into the idea that I don't fear any entity. I don't fear any entity. Let me say that again. I do not fear any entity. And to be honest with you, I can't wait to see you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when I also then get to go to work. There's another aspect to my work that I enjoy. You know how you call in like an exterminator? You're just astral rats. Astral cockroaches. And I get to go to work, motherfuckers. That's just what it is. So, there's some concern, there's some wow, what's going on, but I get to go to work. So, I just really want to bring a couple things to everyone's attention. And I'm going to read from one of my favorite books. I don't even know if you can get it anymore. I think I'm just going to start releasing passages so people can have it. But I want to talk about the Archangel Michael, who is, as a magician, because you are God in the circle, you are the God of the microcosm. He is one of your mightiest defenders. Really the only other entity in all the multiverse whose name carries more fear is Thor's. Thor and the Archangel Michael are the most powerful entities for protection. There's a few others that are pretty close, but there's no entity that I know of or have ever met or encountered that the words Thor and Michael haven't just made it you know, drop a load in its etheric pants. These are powerful words. And I really like this picture of the archangel here. It's almost fully devoid of its Christian trappings. I like the fact that it's stepping on the back of the head and smothering the entity's face so you can't see it. It's very important because he is extinguishing the personality of the dark entity or the dark magnetic force that most people call the devil. He is essentially showing full dominance. And when we're talking about the magic sword, in this order, you need to formulate and consecrate the astral magical sword. You need to. Here's what it says. May this sword become a weapon of might to scatter the beings of the unseen world. May its use in war bring peace. May it be brilliant as Tippereth, terrible as Geburah, and merciful as Shest. Tippereth is the brilliant splendor of your higher self. This means that only the higher self can weld this magical, powerful sword. You will do so in the name of all that which is your highest ideals. Sometimes living right and living the path and attaining to what you need to attain to sometimes means you got to throw some punches. Sometimes means you got to get your hands dirty. Okay? This whole New Age, neo-pagan, Wiccan bullshit of like, oh, we ought to love each other, no harm, just, you're worthless. That's worthless. You're a doormat, and believe me, the meek don't inherit the earth. The meek inherit what's left. Okay? The age of the docile lamb needs to come to an end. Christianity made people the docile lambs because they're sheep, and sheep are easy to control. So, you know, you've got to weld that sword. May it be terrible as Geburah. If you're going to be bad, if you're going to fight, if you're going to be a warrior, make sure that you're one formidable motherfucker. Don't pansy bullshit pussy it. You're going to be a warrior, be a motherfucking warrior. Don't, you know, it's not, you know, yeah, it's light because the actions that you do radiate from you. That inner sun radiates everywhere. And when you light up the astral world, when you light up the world with your acts and with your acts and your deeds, people notice. And there's some things out there that hate that just hate it. And they're going to come at you. And so you had better be, if you're going to pick up the sword, you better damn well know how to use it. It makes sense. Yes? I think so. So, looks like I'm going to have to do part 2. All right, be back.